Hi guys, it's Belle here and I am back with Margarete Miller Collage Challenge week 12. I know I'm a little bit behind. All I can do is apologise once again. If you'd seen one of my earlier videos, you may know that we've had another loss in the family at the start of March. That's the third in less than 6 months, I think, or just over 6 months. We lost 2 family members last year, near the end of last year. Anyway, it was actually my mum who passed away, and she lived in America, so there's just been a lot to deal with, and I have been hit and miss, absent. I know a video even went live when it wasn't meant to. You'll just have to bear with me, but things are settling down now. Most things have been dealt with that needed to be dealt with, so yeah, let's just get on with things, guys. And anyway, week 12 Margarete Miller Collage Challenge. If you do not know what the Margarete Miller Collage Challenge is a 52-week challenge where each week Margarete Miller has created a set of prompts, and you will normally, there's 5 prompts, a 6th, oh gosh, my words, guys, please bear with me, a 6th prompt that you can replace one of the others with, and you take those and you create a piece of artwork, a piece of collage, whatever you want to do. I will leave the links to her shop and to her YouTube channel down below, as well as the links to my shop if you're interested in checking that out. Today, week 12, something found. Right, well, it's all going to revolve around this photograph, and this is from the new Tim Holtz photograph pack. I loved it. I thought it was super, super cute. And one of the prompts is something you see through the window. So this is all like open grass, farmland, things like that. And I can imagine like a parent standing at a kitchen window or something, and they look out and they see this little boy and his best pal outside going on adventures. So something you see through the window, that's what I'm using for that. And then that inspired me to think, well, what adventures are him and his best pal having? So it says something found in a treasure chest. Well, obviously they're having an adventure. And I found this from a vintage book. It's actually from Jack and the Beanstalk. And so I'm going to cut out these coins, because you find coins in a treasure chest. Some graph paper. I actually have this, which is vintage. It's some children's maths from a book, and this is the graph paper in the book. I thought that was perfect because obviously little one. A hand tool, so again this from a vintage book, and this looks like maybe him when he's grown up, but anyways, a little shovel there, and it made me think he's searching for treasure. He's outside, you know, he's going to use a little tool. A piece of scrap art. This is something my son made, so I wanted to use it. I love how this is mainly green, but you have these colours here. So I wanted to use that in here because my son made that. There's also this that was also from the Jack and the Beanstalk book. I just thought it was fun. I don't know if I use it, but I might do, because it's got like all the different fairy tales and things, and there's children reading books. So maybe he loves to read books and he's going on his own adventure. The bonus is a key, so I have this. I also have this little vellum sticker that I thought might be quite good. It'd be like a little hidden message that he's found somewhere leading him to the treasure. And then these are from the new Tim Holtz quote chips, and I thought we might use one of these on here. So this little boy and his best pal are going off for an adventure. That's what's in my head. So let's get started. So we definitely want the photo to be the main focus, but I don't want these big edges on it. So I'm going to just get rid of these edges. So anyway, I'm hoping things will return to normal. I've been saying that for a while, but 2023 has definitely been a bit of a year so far. I feel like I've been saying that since 2020. So yes, but things will return to normal. Well, as normal as you're going to get on my channel. I'm just using some vintage photo because that's what's on this particular pad. So I just picked it up, and I want that to be the main focus. We're also going to rip this down because, oh, and I got my ruler back. If you don't know, I've been missing this ruler since last, when was it? Maybe November. Was it November? I I don't know. I went to stay at my daughter's to cat sit her fur baby, her little cat, and I left my ruler there. And I kept forgetting to pick it up when I went back. And I've really, really felt lost without it. I've had this ruler maybe 20 years. So it's one of those things where you're just used to it. And finally, it's back with me. It might have been back in a previous video. I don't know, because March has been a strange month. So anyway, so I want this as well. And I just basically want the tool. I want it to almost look like he's using the tool to dig. So I like that. Hopefully I'm on screen. I use some of this graph paper. I'm just going to tear it because why not? Ink it up. So yeah, I hope you guys are okay. Spring is finally really feels like it's here, which is brilliant. My garden, my fruit trees all have buds. My plum tree actually has blossoms on it. It looks beautiful. So that makes me super happy. I'm going to cut around this bag and some of the coins because I don't actually want the giant in it. So I'm just going to kind of cut roughly. So this little boy, let's call him Michael. Him and his best friend, his little dog, let's call the dog, I don't know, what's a good name for a dog? Let's just call it Red. So Michael and Red are off on their adventure. And it is, let's think of it as the summer holiday maybe. Maybe they've gone to stay with their grandma and grandpa. And they're off. The grandparents live on a farm or something. Or Michael's grandparents live on a farm. And there's so much beautiful greenery. And Michael loves to read. And so as he's staying with his grandparents, he's reading all these books about Jack, who sells his beans and climbs a beanstalk, or the adventures of so-and-so. And he decides, wow, well, there's all this land around with my grandparents, and maybe there's some hidden treasure somewhere on this land that might be exciting to discover. So that is what Michael and his best pal Red are going to do. They read about treasure in all their books. Maybe one of their favourite books is Treasure Island. And they're going to find out. And just maybe the grandparents have decided to really encourage Michael with his adventuring. And maybe they've left him a little note that they've written on old paper that makes it look like it was left, and they've left it in one of the books in the library. And so he's mysteriously found this letter that he doesn't know they've hidden for him, and he's seen that it's talking about possibility of treasure somewhere. So he sets off with his best pal Red and his little spade and shovel and this letter, and is going to see if he can track down the possible treasure that it seems to be alluding to. So that is what is happening. I mean, weren't those just the best ways you wanted to spend your summer when you were little, like off on adventures, or was that just me? I mean, I love to read anyway. I still love to read now. And I loved mysteries as a child, as any of you who followed this channel for a while and listened to me ramble on about Agatha Christie will know. But one of my favourite things when I was very little were the famous 5 books by Enid Blyton. Now, they are problematic now, as is Enid Blyton. Sadly, you know, it's awful when your heroes or memories suddenly you realise, oh, wow, you know, things you didn't see as a child, you suddenly realise as an adult. But that being said, I did love the famous 5 books, particularly George with her dog Timmy. And I loved George because as a massive tomboy myself, I never ever identified with girly girls. I just didn't. I didn't wear dresses. I didn't like that. I was always in shorts. I always had messy hair. I was always out having adventures, reading books, climbing things, going in tunnels, like swimming in the sea, all these things I was out doing. And I just did not identify with anyone, but George I did. And obviously the Famous Five, if you don't know, is a series of books where they often meet up in the summer and things, and they go off and they're having adventures. And I always loved that, you know, all these adventures that these kids were having. And so I always remember like wanting to have these kind of adventures myself and find some hidden mystery room or some hidden treasure. So that's what has inspired this. Do I want this bit instead? This collage. And when I saw that picture of that little boy with his dog, it just seemed perfect to me. Thinking about these adventures and those books. And then, yeah, then I moved on to Agatha Christie. So it's always been mysteries for me. Murder mysteries, just normal mysteries, you know, finding buried treasure or an abandoned island or something like that. It's always been my favourite kind of books right from childhood. And yeah, this little picture just reminded me of that. And I often went to stay with my grandparents, and they had a lot of outdoor space. So I was always off. It was a bit like the secret garden, you know, I was always off exploring something or other, and normally then coming in absolutely covered in something. I never stayed clean for long, always out getting messy, but you know, that's the whole joy of it, isn't it? That's what you should be as a child. So yeah, so here we have Michael and his dog Red, and they're searching desperately, using this letter that they don't know has been written by their grandparents, to see if they can find the hidden treasure that the letter seems to allude to. And I thought the key was quite good because it could be a rusty old key that they've used. That covers up the spade if I do it there. Not so much there though, so that'd be quite good. That it could allude to the treasure chest, you know, the key to open it. So all this magic on this little story of Michael and his dog. I want to make sure I'm not covering up the spade. So this is just a vellum sticker that I've got. I really liked it because it had the flowers as well, and they're outdoors, and it looks like a old letter that Michael might have found. And it can just go like that. Yep, I like it. I don't know if we'll use any of this actually. Could always use this with them reading. I don't know, because we've still got this, which I think should possibly go up there. And the key might go across here. Maybe. And then we can have the Stay Curious or something. So let's get Michael stuck down with his dog Red. So yeah, I've got a few of these to catch up on, but that's okay. There's no harm in it, is there? I haven't been crafting a lot. I have been working on a journal, 2 journals actually, so that's taken up a lot of my time as it is, the little time that I've had or that I felt like crafting. Yeah, so that's that. I feel like I almost want it to be metal, but I don't know. So yeah, I feel like we're going to have that up there, so there might be treasure. That's what Michael's hoping for. He's hoping that when he opens this treasure chest, there might be treasure. It might just be chocolate coins. And why not? That is treasure as a child as well. Finding a whole box full of chocolate, as long as you don't eat it all in one go and end up feeling very sick. But I think that's also part of childhood, is it not? The idea that you might eat it all. I might actually put that there, actually. That you might actually eat it all in one go. And you may actually feel a bit poorly. Isn't that part of childhood? Thinking maybe down here. So I've got, there is nothing that cannot happen today, which I thought was quite cute. And blessed are the curious, for they shall have adventures, which I actually think is the better one. I don't think I want that covered up too much. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best way. Now, these are really chipboard, and I don't want it sticking up that much. So I'm actually going to pull the top off really carefully, like so. Because I want it flatter, just because of the way it's going to fit when I start putting this journal together. So blessed are the curious, for they shall have adventures. Love it. Do I want another piece of green just somewhere? No. So yeah, and then we will be done with this one, with Michael and his dog Red and the adventure of the hidden treasure chest that Michael is having. And I bet he's having a lot of fun having that adventure. I bet he's super excited and can't wait to run in and tell his gran and granddad all about his adventures and how he found this old key and a map in a book and went off to explore. And it turns out there might have been gold in it. I don't know if I want all this. So I might just rip some off. Might rip some off here too. And have it more ripped like that. And then I'm just going to ink it a bit, I think, to help brown it a little bit. Not tons, but a little. Let's put a little bit more ink on there. Oh no, I cannot find my ink pad. So let's not put a little bit more ink on there. Let's just use what I've got on the brush. So there we go, guys. This is week 12. Let us double check that we have everything. Something found in a treasure chest, gold, graph paper, so we've got this, a hand tool here, a piece of scrap art, which is this bit that my son made, something you see through the window, outdoors, and bonus, a key. And it's all about the adventure of Michael and Red, one summer on his grandparents' farm. Let's just stick this on the back so we remember what date it is. And I hope you enjoyed this video and a little mini look into Michael's summer adventure. And yeah, I hope you're all good. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Again, I can only apologise for being behind, but sometimes that's just life, guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will be back again soon, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a lot of crafty fun. And until next time, guys, thank you so much. Bye.